Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about something that frustrates thousands of small business owners every single year: government contracting. The federal government spends over $700 billion annually. A significant portion is legally required to go to small businesses. And yet, the vast majority of small businesses that try to compete never win a single contract. Today, we're going to unpack exactly why that is, the 8 critical mistakes, and what the winners do differently. Let's get started. Let's start with the good news. The federal government is the single largest buyer of goods and services in the world, spending over $700 billion every single year. And by law, at least 23% of that spending, that's roughly $161 billion, is supposed to go to small businesses. There are over 500 federal agencies actively purchasing products and services around the clock. Contracts come in every shape and size, from small micro purchases under $10,000 to massive multi-year vehicles worth hundreds of millions. There are also special programs, like the 8A program, service-disabled veteran-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, and Hub Zone certifications, specifically designed to help small businesses compete. So the opportunity is absolutely real. The question is, why are so many businesses failing to capture it? Here's where the story gets sobering. There are over 500,000 small businesses registered in SAM. Gov, the federal system required to bid on government contracts. But studies and procurement data consistently show that only about 3% of those businesses actually win a federal prime contract. 3%. And of those who try and lose, approximately 72% give up after the first or second failed bid, never understanding what went wrong. For businesses that persist without proper guidance, the average time to achieving consistent wins is close to 8 years. That's not discouraging news, it's clarifying news. Because those who do win are doing something fundamentally different. They're not luckier, they're not better connected, they're better prepared. Let's look at why the other 97% keep failing. The very first mistake, and perhaps the most common, is that businesses dive into bidding long before they're actually ready to compete. They register in SamGov, get their UEI number, and immediately start submitting proposals as if that's all it takes. But registration is not readiness. Government buyers are risk-averse by nature. They're spending taxpayer money, and they need confidence that you can deliver. That means they're looking for evidence of financial stability, past performance, operational capacity, and a proven track record. The businesses that consistently win spend months, sometimes over a year, building that foundation before they aggressively pursue opportunities. Think of it like this. You wouldn't show up to compete in the Olympics after just learning how to run. You train first. Government contracting is no different. Mistake number 2 is a critical mental shift that most businesses never make. They approach government contracting the same way they approach commercial sales, by talking about what they do and what they offer. But government agencies don't buy services. They buy solutions to problems. They buy outcomes. They buy risk reduction. When you say, we provide cybersecurity services, so a government evaluator thinks so does everyone else. But when you say, we reduce network vulnerabilities, ensure FISMA compliance, and have done it for 3 federal agencies, now you're speaking their language. The winning businesses study agency strategic plans, budget justifications, and performance objectives before ever writing a single word of a proposal. They understand the mission, they write to the problem, and they make the evaluator's job easy by connecting every capability directly to a specific need. Mistake number 3 is treating government contracting like online shopping. You find something you like, click submit, and wait for your order to arrive. That's not how this works. Government contracting is deeply relationship-driven. Now, this doesn't mean corruption or favoritism. It means familiarity and trust. Contracting officers and program managers want confidence. They want to know who they're working with. Companies that win are usually the ones that have spent months, sometimes over a year, building visibility with the agencies they target. They attend industry days, they present capability briefings, They go to small business matchmaking events. They participate in procurement conferences. By the time the RFP hits the street, the agency already knows their name, their capabilities, and their track record. Cold proposals from unknown vendors face a significant uphill battle. The data consistently shows that businesses with pre-established agency relationships win at rates 5 to 10 times higher than those submitting cold. Mistake number 4 is one of the most painful because most small businesses genuinely believe they submitted a good proposal. The harsh reality is that government evaluators are not looking for reasons to award you a contract. They are looking for reasons to eliminate you. One missing document, one section out of compliance, one vague answer where specifics were required, and you're out before they've even assessed your qualifications. The most common proposal killers are non-compliance with instructions, being too company-focused instead of agency-focused, being too generic, providing claims without evidence, and starting the proposal the day the RFP drops. Winning proposals are built over weeks, not days. They directly mirror the language in the solicitation. They provide evidence for every claim. They demonstrate deep understanding of the agency's mission. And they make the evaluator's job effortless. Proposal writing is a specialized professional skill, not an administrative task to rush through. Mistake number 5 is what I call the desperation bid strategy. Businesses struggling to win start applying for everything: IT contracts, training programs, construction work, janitorial services, consulting assignments, anything they can find. The thinking is, the more we bid, the more we'll win. But the data tells a completely different story. Businesses that scatter their efforts across 50 or more different contract types win at a rate of around 4%. Compare that to specialists who focus on 3 to 5 tightly defined areas. They win at rates of 35 to 40%. Why? Because specialization allows you to build deep domain expertise. It allows you to cultivate relationships with the specific agencies that buy what you offer. It allows you to develop a library of highly targeted, reusable proposal content. And it allows you to truly understand the competition in your space. Focus doesn't limit your opportunity. It multiplies your odds. Mistake number 6 is failing to build a deliberate past performance strategy. Past performance is consistently one of the most heavily weighted evaluation factors in government contracting. The government wants to see that you've done it before. So when a new business walks in and says, "We've never done a government contract, but we can do it," that's a major red flag. Here's the good news. You don't have to start with federal prime contracts. There is a strategic ladder you can climb. Start with commercial work to establish delivery credibility. Then, go after state and local government contracts, which have lower barriers to entry. Subcontract with established prime contractors to get into the federal ecosystem. Form teaming agreements with experienced partners. Then go after small federal primes, micro purchases, and simplified acquisition threshold contracts. Each step builds evidence. Each step builds your CPARS record. Each step puts you one rung closer to the larger opportunities at the top. Mistake number 7 is underestimating the competition. Many small businesses assume they're competing against companies like themselves. Other small businesses with limited resources, maybe just an owner and a couple of employees. That is often not the case. The businesses that consistently win in government contracting operate like professional sports teams. They have dedicated proposal writers. They have capture managers who begin working on an opportunity 6 to 12 months before the RFP even drops. They have pricing analysts who model competitive rates based on historical contract data. They invest in ongoing agency intelligence. They have well-documented past performance files with quantified outcomes. This is serious professional competition. The good news is that you don't need all of this overnight, but you do need to understand what the bar looks like and begin building towards it systematically. Businesses that acknowledge their gaps and invest in closing them move from losing to winning much faster than those who don't. Mistake number 8 is perhaps the most psychologically damaging one. Most small businesses enter government contracting expecting results within a few months. They bid 2 or 3 times, lose, and conclude that the system is broken, rigged, or simply not for them. The red line on this chart shows what businesses expect: rapid growth to full win probability within the first year. The orange line shows what actually happens to unprepared businesses, almost flat for the first 18 months, with very slow growth. But look at the gold line: businesses that apply a strategic approach from the start. By month 18, they're at over 50% win probability on target opportunities. By month 36, they're consistently winning. Government contracting rewards persistence and patience above almost everything else. The businesses that win are rarely the ones with the biggest budgets or the best connections. They're the ones that commit, learn, improve, and refuse to quit. There's one more factor we need to address that rarely gets talked about: the social media trap. Every day, small business owners are bombarded with videos, posts, and ads, making government contracting sound effortless. Win contracts with no experience. Get paid in 30 days. Secret loopholes the government doesn't want you to know. Here's the problem: social media rewards attention, not accuracy. What you see are the success stories, the contract celebration posts, the screenshot of the award notification. What you don't see are the dozens of failed proposals that came before that win. You don't see the years of preparation. You don't see the team of consultants, proposal writers, and business development professionals working behind the scenes. This is called survivor bias. You only see the survivors, not the casualties. The businesses that successfully use social media treat it as a research tool, not a strategy guide. They cross-reference everything with official sources. And most importantly, they spend more time executing than they do scrolling. Let's bring it all together. We've looked at the 8 critical mistakes that keep most small businesses from ever winning a government contract. Now, let's look at what the successful 3% actually do. Number 1, they build before they bid. Their infrastructure is solid before they ever chase an opportunity. Number 2, they write mission-focused proposals. Every word addresses the agency's problem. Number 3, they invest in relationships long before an RFP exists. Number 4, they treat proposal writing as a professional discipline. Number 5, they specialize deeply instead of spreading thin. Number 6, they build past performance deliberately, one strategic step at a time. Number 7, they respect and study the competition, improving every single proposal cycle. And number 8, they commit to the long game, 3 to 5 years of consistent strategy and execution. These aren't secrets, they're disciplines, and every one of them is learnable. This roadmap gives you a realistic picture of what the journey looks like when done right. Phase 1, the foundation phase, covers months 0 through 6. This is about getting your infrastructure in place: registrations, certifications, financial systems, defining your target market, building your capability statement, and establishing commercial past performance. Phase 2, positioning, runs from months 6 to 12. This is where you build relationships, attend industry events, pursue subcontracting, and develop your proposal toolkit. Phase 3, active pursuit, runs from months 12 to 24. You're now submitting targeted proposals, refining your approach after every loss, pursuing teaming agreements, and ideally earning your first federal contract. Phase 4, scaling, begins around month 24. Now you leverage your track record for larger opportunities, pursue multi-award contract vehicles, and build repeatable systems for consistent wins. This is the realistic timeline. Shortcuts exist, but they're the exception, not the rule. So, here's the bottom line. The government market is not a mystery. It is not rigged. And it is absolutely accessible to small businesses, including yours. But winning requires more than registration and hope. It requires the 8 disciplines we talked about today: readiness, mission focus, relationships, proposal excellence, specialization, past performance strategy, competitive awareness, and long-term commitment. If you're serious about breaking into government contracting, or if you've been trying and hitting walls, Nabor Consulting is here to help. We offer a personalized GovCon readiness assessment, a targeted agency, and opportunity strategy tailored to your specific capabilities, and hands-on proposal writing and review support. You don't have to figure this out alone. Take the first step today. Visit Nabor Consulting. Come and book your free consultation. Because the government is spending hundreds of billions of dollars, and some of that money has your name on it. Let's go get it. Thank you.